D&B with an acoustic guitar. There's no way that's possible. 174 BPM. We might have to go down to 170. I don't know if I can do 174. It's not terrible, right? Right. I'm gonna go to the Suno GPT and just ask for D&B drum beat prompt for Suno Studio. Go to drums, paste that in there. I'm also gonna put the tempo just because I was off beat, so I'm hoping the tempo will help it. Let's keep weirdness at 50, and let's keep audio influence at 15. Style influence to, I'll take it all the way to 80, just because we're gonna need a lot of help from Suno on this one. Okay, not bad. Okay, yeah, we'll just take that part right there. Then we'll duplicate it. And I'm gonna duplicate this track, and I'm gonna do a cover of those drums to just see if we can get it a little bit more tight now that I have the type of drum beat I want. And with it looping, I want that to be like a seamless loop. So I'm just gonna leave this style the same, and I added to the exclude styles, bass, guitar, and synth. And I'll do the audio influence to 25, and the style influence, I'll keep it at 80. And the only reason I duplicated it is because I wanna keep those loops intact just in case this doesn't work, and I have that to fall back on. There we go. That's what I wanted. And I don't know how to fucking select this as the version that I want. If you know how to do that, let me know down in the comments. So I just drag this take onto a new track, and then I'm gonna delete the track that had all the takes in it. So now we got, I'm gonna copy this and paste it right there so that it's on beat. And let's just cover this whole thing because I don't want that space in between. I'm not even gonna put a style. I'm just gonna put the audio influence to like 70. I just want to see if it'll give us a more seamless loop throughout the whole thing. Now we got to start adding in some basses. We need like a respace, and we need a roller. And a roller would be like what you see in those videos where they're like scooting the chair and it looks like it's making that sense. So we need like a scooting a chair noise. Pick slide is the best thing I can think for this. I can't find my damn picks. So I'm gonna add a track, and we're gonna use a quarter instead. If this works, I'm gonna shit on your grandmother. Sorry, I wouldn't do that to your grandmother. I might. You don't know me, brother. I know how to do the sound design, like with the actual synth, but I'm not sure how to describe this sound. Let's get the Suno GPT to give us a prompt. Go to synths. Suno doesn't do great with dubstep. It definitely does better with D&B than it does with dubstep, but getting those like cool sound design things are really hard to get out of Suno. Frequency modulated bass, just in case that works. I don't know if it can understand that or not. And for exclude styles, we'll say drums, vocals. Let's turn audio influence down to like 18 and the style influence up to 80 because we really, you know, we're not relying too much on the audio for this one. And I'm gonna turn weirdness up to 65. I want it to be a little bit weird, you know. That's not bad. Let's see what else we got though. I like the other one better for sure. I want some other bass for this last part though. So we got this. Yeah, I want to do like some type of respace at this part. So how do we do a fucking respace with a guitar? And a respace is done by taking two saw waves and detuning them a little bit. So if we played two notes a semitone apart, maybe that could work. We'll do one note like this, and then slide up, and I'll bend it. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. Let's transpose it down a few semitones to make it sound more bassy. Yeah, I've also been learning that if you highlight a little extra, that's usually a good thing to do because sometimes it just cuts off randomly. So we'll go to synth again, and we'll change this to respace, distorted bass, D&B bass, respace, sliding, distorted respace. I'm just gonna keep saying respace. And we'll keep the audio influence to 20. I want to bring the weirdness down a little bit because I actually do kind of have a rhythm in mind, and I'm gonna keep the style influence at 80. So if you're not super sure about what you recorded, it seems like having the audio influence low and the style influence high is your best bet. Let's see if it got it. It did the slide. Oh shit, it worked. Kinda. It just did the low one a little bit too long. Maybe we can just move it up some. That's kind of nasty. Now I want to kind of do something like Prodigy, like smack my bitch up, but I think Suno won't like that because it is like copyrighted lyrics or whatever. We just got to come up with something that's like that same rhythm, but we can change the words. Yeah, we'll just say some cliche electronic words. Robotic, cybertronic, magnesium. I don't know. I do best when I just kind of let it come out. Robotic, magnesium, cybertronic, ruffrenium. I got a hernia in my ass. Yeah, then if we can prompt that to be a little more vocal choppy, that could be cool. And if you click on this, on the right side, it'll describe your sound, which is really cool. But I don't want it to sound like my vocals, so I'm gonna ignore the style. But I am gonna grab the lyrics so I don't have to type those out. And let's just select this whole thing and go to vocals, and on the lyrics, paste that. And we don't really need the verse meta tag, I don't think. Chopped vocal, scratched vocal, vocal chop, 90s, D&B, vocal. And I'm actually going to keep the audio influence a little bit higher. Weirdness up to 65 because I want it to experiment a little bit. And we'll keep the style influence, I'm going to go all the way to 90 because I'm feeling dangerous. What the f? Oh, in the exclude styles, I put vocals. I forgot that was still there. So let's undo all of that. That's definitely closer. So yeah, let's just cover this whole thing. I'm gonna keep the lyrics the same, and I'm gonna take out scratched vocal and chopped vocal, so we can just say vocal chop. And let's turn the audio influence down to like 15 because I really want it to just give me something different. Magnesium, cybertronic, helium. Let's go to the track and do a little EQ on it. We're just gonna use a high pass and a low pass to give this a radio effect. And this could be like a build-up vocal. Actually, let's add a new track and let's just drag this one onto the new track so we can cover this one and make it a build-up. Or actually, we could have it go into some chords. That could be nice. Yeah, something like that. I do want the audio influence kind of high because I want it to get that melody. So let's bring that to 60, but let's also take the style influence to 80. And we'll keep weirdness down to 0. And the only exclude styles thing I'll do is vocals and drums. So emotional, plucky, synth, melody, saw wave. I basically want it to be like a tight pluck with a lot of reverb on it. We'll say reverb drench too. No way. That's fucking... That's insane. It followed the actual melody. Yeah, let's just re-record that with the guitar. With having those drums in the background, that'll help me stay on beat. And let's turn the audio influence even higher. I'm gonna go 75 because I really want it to make sure it does those chord changes at the right part. Hell yeah. Now let's take out the D&B drums and see how it sounds. Okay, perfect. I actually want to try doing this lead to like a really big lead. So let's duplicate it and bring it here. And then I'm thinking of having it a little bit more anthemic. So we'll just cover this again, but this time we'll say anthemic super saw lead, synth lead, big room, big reverb, anthem synth. And let's keep the audio influence loose and the style influence high. So hopefully that will still copy the melody, but we'll make sure that it makes it into the new synth and doesn't have that like underwater effect on it. It got the type of lead I wanted, right? But it's a little more of a build-up sound. I kind of want to layer that with the other build-up. Yeah, let's have that one fade in. Okay, and this ass thing is getting on my nerves. How many times does he say ass? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But there's also a delay, so it's more like 16 times. So let's cover this with a vocal. And for the lyrics, we'll just put ass twice, and then we'll copy that 8 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Build up, vocal, rising in pitch, background, delay, reverb, drenched. Audio influence, let's go up to 40. Style influence, keep it high. That seems to be working. And let's cover. That's alright. Let's see what else we got. We could do better. Let's cover that again. This time I'll turn the weirdness up a little bit, and I'm gonna add in vocal choppy vocal. Maybe it'll do something a little more interesting. We'll keep the audio influence lower. Style influence at 80 is good. Maybe we can turn weirdness up even more. We'll say 66. I like that one better. It's a little more emotional. You know, when you're talking about subtle subjects like ass, you have to be empathetic and emotional. You know what? Let's get some hand claps in there. Using the new samples feature, baby. Or the sounds feature, whatever. So we're gonna make the BPM 170, and we're gonna say hand claps. We should make this a loop, not a one shot. So I guess we're going from D&B to big room house at 170. How does that even work? Okay, you know what? We're just gonna have to do a one shot. It is not giving me the claps. I just want fucking, that's it. That's all I want. I'm just gonna say auto for the BPM because that seems to do better with one shots. And honestly, it'd probably be easier just to cover those claps now that we have claps. We'll just go to drums and we'll put clap. I would like them to be bigger, but I'm getting bored, so I could always add claps with splice or something like that. Now I want to try doing some build-up drums with the guitar. I was a little offbeat, but that should work. Snare build, 909 snare. I put the audio influence to 80. Looking janky again. Boo. Let's see the other takes. Boo. I don't like any of those. Let's undo. Maybe we should give it a little bit of weirdness to work with, and maybe we should take down the audio influence just a bit. Let's go to 30 and keep the style influence high because I know it's not on beat. There we go. That's what I wanted right there. Let's drag that to a new track. Now we just need a bass. That that does not contain copyrighted lyrics. That doesn't even make sense. That's not even lyrics. All right, let's try this again. I'm gonna try doing it a different rhythm. All right, this is why I'm against copyright law in general. It's stupid. We gotta figure out a new way to monetize music. It's fucking dumb. It limits creativity. I put audio influence to 50, style influence to 70, weirdness 25. It works for me. I don't really care if it stays with the rhythm or not. I mainly just want it to at least stick to the chord changes of the synth and the chords and all that. Okay, actually it doing that thing where it cuts out for a second actually makes it sound more like a build up. That could be good. Now we can bring back those D&B drums and maybe we can do like a melodic D&B drop. I don't want to do the exact same melody, but we could do something similar. Maybe we could do some type of call and response thing with a bass that's like, and then it could go from that to like a. Let's do one bass, and then after we have a bass, we'll come up with some chords or melodies that could be the response. So we're gonna do like the call bass, and then we'll do response chords. Yeah. So yeah, let's change this to a synth again. We're basically just gonna do another respace because you really can't go wrong in D&B with adding respaces, can you? We'll just say respace, heavy distortion. Maybe that'll work. Distorted bass. And I'm gonna turn up the weirdness a little bit. I wanted to improvise some. I'll keep audio influence at 50 because I do want to have that rhythm. And we'll do style influence to 85. And let's take audio influence to 65. Fuck it. And let's cover. And I will say, even though like studios struggle sometimes and you get like stems or sounds that you didn't want in some of your stems and everything. I mean, the fact that it's even possible that I can make a D&B song with an acoustic guitar is kind of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. It's very cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Hell yeah, that's perfect. And it even threw in like a weird old school Skrillex type of sound. That almost sounds like the Nexus 2 laser. If you are OG, you know. So yeah, I'll just do some type of melody. Like the da-na-na. I'm not even sure what I want that to sound like. So we'll go to synth. Let's say dubstep, screech, FM, synthesis, frequency, modulation, distortion. Yeah, that's all I can think of. I don't know. We'll do the style influence high and the audio influence 45. Weirdness, let's calm it down to 65. Not that type of screech. That's like 2012's. Yeah, that's at least closer. And maybe we can bring in the vocal chop from before. I'm bored, so this is what we got. Here's the whole thing. Good to be creative just from an acoustic guitar, but if there's anything else you want to see about Suno AI, let me know down in the comments, or my grass-fed beef from the supermarket's gonna grow legs and walk to the supermarket and kick your ass.